Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we have some new Kizer knives and a couple just new models, new versions. This one is the Mad Tanto. What a cool name. But man, it's really cool. I really like this thing. One, it has a dual ground Tanto that's also somewhat of a drop point. So you're going to be able to use that tip. It's not a Tanto that you can't use the tip. It's definitely one that will be very useful. Plus you have the secondary tip. And it's nice and thin behind the edge. I'll measure the thickness behind the edge really quick. 10 thousandths with their edge angle, which is probably a 20-degree angle, so nice and thin. And the ergos, or the scales, are micarta, and it's so comfortable. You could choke up. Yeah, already, this is a winner. Absolutely. We have an inset clip with flat screws. It kind of rides up a little bit because of the insetness. I think it's just the ramp right here, but I don't feel it in the hand. Well, I feel it a little bit, but it's not a hot spot, at least as far as just holding it right here. The action and detent, perfect. I like how they did a captured pivot too right here with the octagon shaped pivot. 154 cm blade steel, great blade steel, great blade thickness. And yeah, this thing flips really good. It kind of reminds me of a damn design in a way a little bit. Anyways, very cool. By the way, all the knives in this list do come with extra hardware. I do want to mention that. And you can see this thing has a hidden lanyard pin back there. I love how they did that with the micarta. It's nice and flush. Looks really good. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, they all come with extra hardware. Little tiny bit of lock stick, but I don't mind that whatsoever. And I already did do the spine whack test on something not as soft as this. So yeah, very cool. You can see right there where the spring is inside the micarta. If you ever need to take it out and stretch it or anything. Yeah, man, this thing is, I like it. I like it quite a bit. Next is the Kizer Spot. Now, this one, I do have one little issue with it. We'll talk about it here in 1 second, but it is a clip point blade with thick geometry. It's definitely a thicker geometry knife. Aluminum scales with steel liner, deep carry clip that's inset with flat screws, which is very cool because, the clip, it really doesn't bother my hand too much, which you'd think it would, being a deep carry clip on such a narrow knife, because it is narrow. Now, it is a front flipping action, which the front flipper works fantastic. It works very well. The jimping is good jimping. Not my favorite kind of jimping on a front flipper, but because you have so much leverage on this front flipper, it just works so good. Now, the problem, good access to the lock bar, but when I disengage it, there's something going on right here. The detent ball is hitting something. So I don't know. I don't see a detent ramp, but it kind of feels like a detent ramp starts right here or something. It's like if you watch it when it drops, see how it just stops right there? I can shake past it, but I feel it. See how it's right there? And you can hear it too. Not down here. But that was my finger hitting the thing, but if I don't hit it, you can hear it. Anyways, so not that big of a deal. I'm sure it's something that will just, kind of work itself out the more it breaks in. And it's probably not something that's going to be common on everybody's model, but, it's something that happened on mine. But like I said, that thing will probably work itself out. Other than that, sharpening tool and plunge grind sucks. I don't like that. I wish that was better. We need to do better plunge grinds, guys. Here's a good example of one. That is a good plunge grind and sharpening tool right there. Look at that. Plunge grind starts here, ends here. Look at all this life I can sharpen away, and it's super thin. So this is a lot of life. With this is thicker behind the edge, and it hits. So not a big fan of that. But other than that, it's a cool little aluminum knife. Now, the next two are knives that already exist, but this one is the new Sheepdog in 154 cm, reverse flicking with the rich light scales. Inset clip with flat screws. Love to see that. Great access to the lock bar. You guys already know. I love the Sheepdog. It's ergonomic. It's very comfortable. It's slicey. And because of the ergos, you can really pass it through materials very strongly. And there's so many different options with it. The hole deployment's great. They did a fantastic detent. My one complaint is the sharpening tool and plunge grind usually, but It's not horrible. It's just, you know, it could be better. But yeah, fantastic knife. You guys know I have a huge collection of sheepdog knives. I love the sheepdogs. Next is the BEGLEITER XL in this micarta. It's 154 cm again. Oh yeah, by the way, this was 154 cm as well, and so was this one. They're all 154 cm. I believe this one's 154 cm. Yeah, yes it is. Anyways, so this one, I do have one little issue with this one, which maybe we'll just fix it right here just to show people if they have any issues that I'm having, because I've noticed that I've had multiples of the XL BEGLEITER, and some of them come with this problem and some of them don't. But the problem is the detent is just entirely way too late, or too light. And yes, I can reliably flip it if I give it some power, but it's not where it just breaks the detent. So, but I think I can fix that. So let's just fix it really quick so I can show you guys how to fix it. Apart before, I don't remember it having multi-row bearings. Okay, now here is where the problem lies. The spring tension is just a little too light. So all we're going to do is I'm going to grab one side, I'm going to grab the other side, and I'm going to give it a... I'm not going to lose it. Let's try not to lose it. How about that? Give it a little squeeze, give it a little squeeze, and then give it a little pull. We're going to stretch it out just a little bit. But not too much, because, you know, a little goes a long way, and you don't want it to be too powerful, but we want it to have more spring. There we go. Oh yeah, that's probably quite a bit better. All right, so now I'm going to put it back just like... Okay, so yes, it's a lot better. Yeah, it even has a better sound. A little bit of lock stick now, but I'm not worried about that. Like I always say, I always prefer a little bit of lock stick. So, but yeah, it's a lot better. It's still not as crisp as maybe my other one, but I could always take it out and do it more. But man, yeah, no, it's way better. So very, very happy. But anyways, the BEGLEITER XL 154 cm, beautiful. I love this blade shape. It's somewhat of it's a drop point blade, but it has this swedge of a spear point. I love that. That's going to help make acute cutting with the tip. It's got a lot of blade length, very good slicer, good ergonomics. It's going to be good in every grip. You can choke up. Excuse me. Reversible deep carry clip with flat screws. It's not in set, but it does have flat screws. Not mad at that. That's very cool. Sharpening tool and plunge grind is pretty decent. I always wish it could be a little bit better because, yeah, it could be a lot better. Move back the plunge grind a little bit, but other than that, man, solid knife. Love the stone wash. Now, these are, and I'm just a disclaimer, these do sometimes get issues. So if you have problems, if one of the screws starts coming out, it won't flip good. So you got to make sure your screws are in all the way and make sure the scale is nice and flat on the surface. That's just the way button locks are. Next thing is, you know, sometimes the tension of the spring can get a little bit more weaker, and you might have to address it like we just did on this one. So, you know, but it's an awesome knife, and as long as you're okay with working on your knife every once in a while, if you're not okay with working on your knife sometimes, I'd say stay away from a button lock, especially, you know, the BEGLEITER XL. But yeah, anyways, there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.